Okay, so today we're going to talk about fire starting. I'm going to basically show you guys some of the tricks that I've learned over the years. I actually live in a pretty dry climate, and starting fires out here has never really been an issue, although we do get wet weather coming through now and again, and there's a couple of little things that you can do that can really save your life out here, especially you need to get warm in a snowstorm or a sleet storm. I can show you guys how to get a fire going even in extremely wet weather. Anyway, one of the tricks here is pitch. Pitch is pretty much like nature's napalm. I can zoom in on this so you guys can see. And this here is a pinyon pine. It's being attacked by some sort of disease or something. You can just pick some of this pitch off, and it is extremely flammable. Let me see if I can show you guys a little bit about it. So you can take a lighter or a match or anything and you hold it to it and get it going a little bit, and it quickly starts to drip, and it's like almost gets itself going for a bit. You got to be real careful about this stuff though, because if it drips on you, it's really hot and it's hard to get off. It's almost like getting melt plastic dripped on you. So you do want to be pretty careful when you're messing around with this stuff. But see how it's getting hotter and it's dripping, it's melting, and it's just burning. This stuff is pretty much the best stuff that you can find out in nature to get a fire started. Now, one of the things that I like to do is I'll collect a bunch of this pitch up, and I'll actually take it and put it inside of a pot, and I'll melt it down. And then I've been making these little fire starters out of wick and a match. And I can demonstrate this real quick. We're just going to light this match with a lighter. And the pitch should get going pretty quickly here. See, before when we were burning the pitch, it was going out kind of on its own a little bit. I had to relight it once. And this, since it's a wick, it tends to want to burn a little bit better on its own. And you can really see it gets going. It does put off kind of a black smoke, but quite a bit of heat comes off of this. And eventually I'm going to have to put this down because it's going to be starting dripping and getting too hot. And this will burn and burn and burn. One of the tricks that I like to use, especially if it's real windy, is a lot of times you can scavenge around and find an old bottle or a can or something and actually get some of your tinder and your pitch inside. And the wind's blowing or anything, you can kind of stick your hand in there and light your lighter or get your match in there and get it out of the wind. Then you can get your tinder going and kind of transfer it and pull it out. And I've actually used just pitch off of a tree and a lighter to start a fire in the middle of a snowstorm. And you know, everything that I had to use to start the fire was extremely wet. And at the time, my buddies and I were pretty cold, so we decided to try to get a fire going, and they had told me that they didn't think I could get one going, and I kind of took it on as a challenge, more or less. And so anyway, end of the story is we're able to get that fire going, and we're able to warm up, get our hands warm, and continue on our way. So I've just put a couple of little pieces of dry tinder on here just to show you guys how easily this burns. It really gets going on its own and just starts to kind of consume itself, but it does stay lit for quite a while. You can see the difference between just trying to burn a piece of this pitch that we pulled off of the tree and actually soaking it in a wicking material. With the wicking material, it definitely performs much better.